It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another $10 DIY.
Yes.
Very excited. So for this one, it's actually a really easy thing to do. The goal behind this, though, is kind of giving you a way to look at things a little differently. So for this, we're going to need some plants, some dirt, and some household items. And I mean that very loosely. So let's take a look at kind of what we have here. I went to the Detroit Lakes Flea Market. We love Shady Hollow Flea Market. They have the most random stuff. And once I saw these cute little succulents, I thought, what could I plant these in? And so at that point, my goal was kind of to find the most random stuff that you could plant some succulents in that would also look kind of neat. It's a really, unique way of seeing the world, is trying to figure out different uses for things. So I'm going to grab my glove here. First thing we have is this coffee can. So I found this. They had a bunch of other really cool cans, like little metal spice containers, vintage coffee cans, older things with just kind of a cool pattern or cool patina. I thought this could just be a really neat thing. If you have a spot in your house, maybe on a bookshelf where you have multiple colors, this can kind of tie them all together. But it's also an older vibe, a little bit of a retro vibe. So maybe if that's what you're going through in your home decor.
I love vintage,
Why
and
not?
it definitely goes with any motif. Yeah.
And this is also a great thing to do, if you are, you're looking for a little bit more of a masculine decor piece. It's not a typical flower pot.
Right. It goes great in the man cave.
One note about this is because it's old, it does have rust in it, and there's a few little holes. So if you are actually going to, water this, granted succulents don't need a lot of water, maybe have something underneath it, a plastic or something. The next one, speaking of masculine things, this is actually, as far as I know, anyway, maybe somebody at home has a better idea. I believe it's a light that you put on a car.
It's like from the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, or maybe it's this way. I don't really know. Anyway, point is, it's from a car.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what though? I love this vibrant orange. So what we did is we actually got in, there's a little spot right here you can put a screwdriver in and you just pop it up. This is how you would change the light if you were actually going to use this on a car. And I don't know, you could take this home and try to wire it up to something, I guess. But the point is, I loved this vibrant orange. I thought it would look really cool as a planter.
Yes.
Why not? And, probably a lot of us have relatives that have a random old barn that's got things in it, or dad's got a bunch of stuff in the garage, and you're like, I just want a really cool conversation piece. Why not something like this? Because if you had this on your coffee table and people are like, oh, what a cute little succulent.
Right.
And you can be like, you know what? It's from a 1967 Chevy Corvette. I have no idea about cars. But it's a conversation piece.
It's a conversation starter, icebreaker, you name it. Yep.
Yeah, so we love that. Last but not least, why this was at Shady Hollow, no idea, but somebody had a seashell collection. So I thought, you know what? I love the idea of a very natural thing holding another very natural thing.
I think this one's
gonna
going to be
do it.
my favorite because it, like you said, it's definitely purposed already. And to repurpose it with plants and have water in it, it's definitely the best of both worlds.
And, if you go on vacation, you go somewhere cool that's actually got seashells from there as well, bring it home as a keepsake. We're going to really boost the nostalgia in your home life, I think, through
You
this
definitely
show.
always do.
So now, when we're actually planting these, they're not very deep. So we know that we don't have to go very deep. For the seashell one, I'm going to do the one that's the least deep because obviously there's not a lot of surface area to be planting things. For this one, I'm going to put a few in. So why don't we start with this? I will give you that. And probably what we'll want to do is put just a little bit of dirt in the bottom just so we can pump it up so it's about this high. And then we'll put it on top, and then we'll add dirt around the perimeter.
Is this a little bit too much?
A little bit too much in there. Just getting a little excited with your dirt over there.
My holistic planting skills.
So a little bit too high
much?
still, yeah. So probably half an inch, maybe an inch should work. We want it to sit so that at least this is, near the top level of the
Perfect. I think this should
little
be
pot.
just right.
Perfect. Yeah, and then you'll just want to add a little bit of dirt around it, pack it in. When you are planting things, I have found, we'll definitely get in touch with Don Kinsler from NDSU. He's amazing at planting things, but I have found you want to kind of try to water it at least to marry the dirt with the item that you're planting. I'm going to do this next. This is just a little baby. So put a little bit of dirt in here. This one ought to be interesting, I'm sure.
Is this one okay?
Yeah, that looks good.
Perfect.
we don't want to like super pressure it down, but at the same time you do want to get it down a little bit because you need it to set. So I just put a little bit of dirt in here. Obviously, oh, look at that. What is that?
It's a worm.
Oh my gosh, no.
It's an actual worm. So this is the finds that you do find in a bag like this.
That's
so
some legit
be very
potting
mindful.
soil. Okay. Well, now that I've had a heart attack, let's go back to our planting, shall we? So we're just gonna put this little guy in here. Want to make sure we get the roots nice and covered and things are a little bit tight in there because this is such a loose kind of planting area. We want to make sure everything's all nice and tight. So we've got that in there. As that grows too, it'll sprout a little bit. It'll be really, really cute. But you know, we just got to give it some time to grow. So we've got that one done. Next, we're going to do our coffee can. So if you want to go ahead and we're going to fill a good inch, inch and a half in the bottom. Now, yeah, that's perfect. Because we're doing a larger item, you could easily plant multiple things in it, which is what we're going to do. But also this would be a good opportunity. I didn't have the chance to do this, but they did have some that kind of hang over the edge that were really cute. So that could be a good look. And also creating levels. In this case, we're going with 2 tall things just because I wanted to make sure I was giving height, but you could easily, you know, do multiple items with different levels that are different sizes. And then we're just gonna, now that we have them in, we're just gonna backfill with dirt. So go ahead and add some dirt to that. Put that in there. And you may remember this was actually from the sign that we took apart. I just like to use it as a tray occasionally. It helps to just hold things up a little bit. So make it fun. Once we've got all of our dirt in, we've got it surrounded and packed down a little bit, then you're gonna wanna add some water just to really get it to soak in, get everything so it's nice and comfortable. It's really important that when you're planting plants, you do look up on the internet how much sunlight they need. I have certainly killed some plants by giving them too much sun, too much water. So we'll wanna do that. But succulents are a very, very easy plant to take care of. They're very low maintenance, they're low moisture, so very easy. So look at this, we have kind of a cool little bunch here of neat, just different conversation pieces. The point is that find something that matches your decor. I've even seen people take a book, open the book up, kind of burrow a hole in it and plant in there.
Oh my goodness.
Just make it a little interesting. Probably you'd want to Mod Podge it so that it seals it first before putting water in your pages, but find something that matches your decor. Use it as a planter.
Yep.
We love that.
Love that.
Yeah, so hey, stay with us. If you have some really cool designs like this, please send them into our Facebook page. We would love to see what you come up with. But we have a lot more North Dakota Today coming up after the break, so sit tight.